All right, guys. So the question is, who is the best line AOE unit in Spongebob Tower Defense? Now, there's a lot of units we know that are the best of their class. For example, Sea Bear is obviously the best splash damage unit. We got Spongehenge is obviously the best full AOE unit, along with Hashslinging Slasher. But Hashslinging Slasher is kind of complicated. His AOE is very weird. So those two are kind of tied. I think Hashslinging Slasher is technically better. And of course, we got Cyborg. Is he the best Pierce unit? Maybe that's for a later video. And of course, we got Dream Gary. I would venture to say he's the only sleep unit, so it is what it is. And you can't really count him as a damaging unit. His damage is just... So let's go compare the best line AOE unit, and let's see if we can find out the best. Now, first up, I did actually get our boy, man. My man, Richard. Yes, guys, I got a shiny Wumbo version. Let's go. Let's freaking go, guys. So you know what that means? We got to get secret formula on our boy. Now, before we do, guys, you guys might have looked at my inventory. You might have seen all these Dream Garys. Well, guess what? You're in luck. You are in luck. We are doing a Dream Gary giveaway at 15,000 subs, and we're going to do a mega live stream tomorrow. And yeah, let's just say we'll easily hit that, and we'll be giving away a lot of Dream Garys throughout this week and on those streams. And of course, guys, we're going to be giving away Sea Bears, Cyborgs, and a ton of Quicksters. So if you're a new player getting in the game and you want a very OP full AOE unit, yo, if you want a Quickster, man, hey, I got you. You want a Bang Geek Mr. Crab? You want a Bang Geek Mr. Puff? I just got so many units to give away, guys. Let's get it. Anyways, come on, Richard. You know what? Richard is my golden boy. So let's get this man that golden trait reroll. So let's go see how long it's going to take us to get our... There we go. Okay, that's not... Bro, I like these golden trait rerolls. It makes these videos a lot faster. I'm not clicking for forever. Look at that. 1900. What the frick, man? Anyways, let's go see what his stats look like now. 3960 for 0.6 SPA at level 1. Now, unfortunately, I can only get him to level 21, which kind of sucks, but he's critical 5,256. Let's just say it's going to be hard to compete. But wait, what about the OG unit, GG Rock? Yo, what am I seeing right there, guys? 0.1 SPA is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, this guy is Prestige 5 and this guy is Prestige 1. So we're going to have to give our boy Richard a little bit of the benefit of the doubt there. All right, next up, we have Bubbles. Now, I thought Bubbles was Pierce, but actually, yeah, he is a line AOE unit. So unfortunately, we have no food to give him. I know it sucks, but we can, you know, we can roughly guess, and we'll compare a little bit with our boy Richard. But first, I guess, you know what? Let's get Bubbles the Dolphin's secret formula. All right. I mean, we got these golden trait rerolls. They're pretty OP. There we go. Not bad at all, guys. Easy clap. Let's go. 3875 for 0.6. Now, I'm not going to lie, factoring in the level difference, I think he's better than Richard. And not even Shiny Wumbo. I'm not going to lie. I think Bubbles might have the edge over Richard. Wow. All right, let's go see if there's any other units we want to bring. Now, I do want to bring a unit that is like a classic unit. So we're going to bring Hibernation Sandy. And I do want to bring one of the representatives from the Band Geek group. So my favorite line of Band Geek units are, of course, Band Geek Spongebob, 6781 for 0.6. Or we can bring Band Geek Sandy. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give Spongebob the edge. However, I will say she does have a lot of placement. So, you know what? We can just bring both. We just want to have a farm unit, and that's fine. So we'll bring both, and we're going to see who is the best line AOE unit in the entire game. Very curious to see. Now, I'm going to be honest. Bubbles the Dolphin is low-key kind of clapping right now. All right. Unfortunately, neither of these are Prestige 5. So I will adjust their stats likewise. Let's get it. All right, let's get it started, guys. And I know not all the levels are the same. I'm going to try to do a better version of this video in the future, probably after the update with more units, once we can get, you know, more comparable levels, etc. But they do at least all have secret formula on them. So we're going to get them, you know, let me place them in order of, like, I guess, rarity, I'd say. So we have you, we got you, and then I'd probably say Richard is easier to get than GG Rock is. I'd say GG Rock, and I don't know, honestly, Sandy's probably the easiest to get. Actually, it's kind of hard to get Hibernation, Sandy, Shiny Wumbo, but whatever. And then honestly, GG Rock is currently the hardest to get. Bubbles, because GG Rock is retired, but a lot of people do have GG Rock. So here we go, guys. Let's take a look at some of the stats. Now, I will say, well, actually, you know what? We can actually show this as well. Now, there is some differences that we got to calculate in the DPS. So we will look at this right here, guys. 4 placement is crazy. And guess what? 3 placement? Yes, sir. Now, unfortunately, the rest of these only have 2 placement. So it doesn't really, you know, help their case whatsoever. But it is what it is. Now, I will say one other nice thing is that look at Dolphin's size. He is kind of, you know, like really thin, which can really help placement wise when he turns into a shiny Wumbo. So here we go. Let's go take a look at all the starting damages. So 6580 for 0.7, 6781 for 0.6. Not bad. Now remember, you get an extra placement. So does the faster SPA make up for the extra placement and damage? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure it does. So Sandy might actually get the edge here. And in fact, we do have a calculator that we can whip out. So here we go, 6580 divided by 0.7. Now I will say we don't know the attack effect animation length. Now I'm gonna be honest, they look fairly similar, so we're not gonna worry about it. All right, so 9,400 DPS, all right, times 4 placement, 37,600 DPS if you place all 4. All right, and that will be cheaper than placing all 3 Bang Geeks. So keep that in mind, guys. Bang Geek is double the price, and you place 1 less. So remember, that is very cheap to do, and you can honestly do that on dang near any map. All right. So as far as Bang Geek Spongebob is concerned, he does have that faster SPA. So divided by 0.6, he's doing 11,000 per. Wow, times 3. Now look at that, guys. It actually ends up as less. So right now, Sandy does have the edge. Now, I will also say that Sandy has way less range. So keep that in mind when you factor that in too. But let's go max them out and we'll calculate their max DPSs. All right, so 79.6 range versus 64 range. Now, honestly, both their ranges are so good. Maybe not even be worth it to compare it. But you can kind of see what's going on here. Now, honestly, 0.5 versus 0.6 is a bigger difference. So we got 12,145. Divided by 0.5, so just double it, times 3, 72,000 for our boy Sponge. And then for Sandy, she has 11,760 divided by 0.6 times 4. She still has a very, very slight edge, guys. However, you are sacrificing the range. Keep that in mind. Not bad at all. So overall, they're pretty comparable. So it just depends on which one you can get. I will say Bang Geek Sandy is definitely easier to get, but she does have the less range. All right, next up, we have our boy Richard. Now, unfortunately, my Richard isn't max level, so his stats are a little bit skewed. However, I will say placement for placement, he's looking a lot better. So let's go max him out. 10,000 for 0.5, and look at the level difference, guys. I'm going to be honest, not Fusion 5 and the level difference. I'm going to be honest, he does take the cake over Bang Geek Spongebob for sure. Like if you actually got him like level 80 or 100, which is doable on a mythic, he is going to be miles better even with everything going on. And remember, he isn't even Fusion 5 yet either. So like he has a long way to go. So I would definitely say Richard is very close to Bang Geek and Sponge, but honestly not even that far off. And I will say it does look like his AOE is wider for some reason. I'm not quite sure why that is, but for some reason his AOE looks wider, but I might be tripping. Let me know if you guys agree with that. All right, next up we got Sandy. Now Sandy is a decent level 34. 3,690. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, this is trash, guys. So Hibernation Sandy sucks. So we're just gonna cut her out of the challenge. She absolutely is. All right, next up we got Bubbles. Now Shiny Wumbo level 21, Richard, is doing 5 for 0.6. And this is just a shiny, guys. And only level 1. I'm gonna be honest, if this was a Wumbo as well, that's gonna get the DPS even faster. So I'm gonna be honest, Bubbles the Dolphin definitely is better than Richard, at least in this scenario. Now I don't know how fast Bubbles the Dolphin attacks with the animation. Okay, looks like it's a very, very fast animation. So yeah, Bubbles the Dolphin definitely has the edge. So I think Bubbles the Dolphin might actually also slightly eke out over these two, but these two are so cracked, you definitely still want to get them or trade for them. Now GG Rock is the other one that it's kind of hard to explain because he has a 0.1 SPA. So it's really hard to calculate that DPS when your SPA is literally dang near 0. Now the problem is the animation I feel like is very long, so it's very hard to calculate. So I think that's the one caveat with GG Rock. His animation is very long, and that's actually why his SPA is so fast, apparently. It's just because look how long the animation is. He has to go all the way up and all the way back down. So 1 Mississippi, dang near 1 Mississippi. So look at this guy. Bang. Look how slow that is. I mean, granted, everything looks slow on this, but like, look at that. So these guys already attacked, and they attacked dang near twice, guys, for the time that GG Rock attacks once. So that is the caveat with GG Rock, is he looks like he attacks very fast, but his animation is so slow. As far as damage-wise goes, level 65 compared to level 85, yeah. Now, I will say Spongebob is only level 85, so with some more levels, he's probably going to get close to Sandy. But you guys can kind of already see what's going on here. So honestly, like, the DPS isn't that, and you could fool it versus 2. So I'm going to be honest, guys, Sandy might be better than GG Rock. So I'm gonna be honest, guys, after all of these comparisons, like, your options like literally are Bubbles or Sandy. Like, these are the new best line AoE units in the game, guys. Like, Bubbles or Sandy. Spongebob also counts too, but Bubbles, Sandy, like, these are like literally, it's crazy to me. But yeah, Bubbles and Sandy, guys, absolutely cracked. So if you guys are looking for the best line AoE unit in the game, those are the ones to get.